I've had an easy life. It hasn't been hard. I've had a privileged life. Sometimes it was maybe a bit uncomfortable being shouted at and told to go and do things that you didn't really want to do, but that's how you learn, you know? You just get on with it. My name's Harold Hedges. I'm a goldsmith working for 60 odd years at the bench. The only thing I was ever good at school was art. When I was at school, we used to do calligraphy stuff, a lesson doing how to write properly. The teacher there, he said, "Oh yeah, you could be a sign writer, Harold." I said, "Oh, that'd be quite nice," because in those days, sign writing was an art. They used to have people come round at schools in those days when you were about to leave school, sort of suggesting things that you could do. And this guy came and I said, "Oh, I like working with my hands." And that's when he told me about this place, this workshop that was making costume jewellery. And that's how I started there. Yeah, I was apprenticed to, as I say, this guy, David Thomas. It was an apprenticeship with the Goldsmith Company in London because he was a freeman of the City of London. And I became a freeman of the City of London in 1971 because I was his first apprentice. And I had to go to this little ceremony in the Goldsmiths Hall in London, a fantastic place, Goldsmiths Hall. And they opened the book up and said, "Right, Harold, sign here." And my father had to sign as well. And he said, "Oh, while we're waiting, you can have a look." And I looked back to sort of 1750 and things like that, where all the names of all these apprentices before me were put in there. An honour, really, to be apprenticed in this place. It's not until you look back you think, "My God, that was really something to be apprenticed to that company in that Goldsmiths Company." You know, all these apprentices from years ago, and what kind of lives they had. My God, it must have been hard as anything in those days. I've had an easy life. It hasn't been hard. I've had a privileged life. A friend of mine, I think he had a girlfriend in Canada, and he was a goldsmith, and he went out there to Montreal. And when he was going, I said, "Oh, Peter, let me know if you hear of a job going, because I've always fancied going to Canada." And then a few months later, he wrote to me and said, "Oh, there's a guy in a shop, in a workshop and a shop." He said, "I'll send him over, I'll give him a job." First thing I thought, the cars are so big. In those days, they were big. They're not like that now. They're all these, little cars they have, same as us now. But then it was, God, these big cars are so long. And it was bloody cold because it was November when I went there, snow. And I had a lovely time. Again, I was lucky. The guy I worked for there, him and his wife, they took me to their cottage up in the hills for a weekend in the snow. Beautiful. Went cross-country skiing and stuff. And he used to call me Little Harry. He was a Czechoslovakian. And he'd say, "If you want to come back, Harry," because they used to call me Harry. He said, "If you want to come back," he said, "let me know and I'll send you the money for the ticket." When I came back from Canada, I did work for a year in Hatton Garden in a jewellery company there. And that was just putting castings together, but, putting rings, parts of rings together. It was a sort of more production. It was in gold and stuff, not silver, just gold. And then I moved to Bristol from there. I came here to work with a couple of guys that had this place. You know, I just sort of slid into it, really. You didn't know whether it's going to work or not. You just hopefully carry it, you know, just day to day and build it up and build it up. The Dragon actually was the man that had this shop before me, called Stephen Tricky, a local chap. He had a cat called Dragon, and that's why he called it Dragon Workshop. I thought, oh, maybe it'll last a couple of years, but it's gone on for 52 years. If I'm working and I don't have any interruptions, it's relaxing. You have a flow, and if you just know you're going to go that way with it. But if you get interrupted, and then I have to go out and talk to somebody, I come back, I've lost it, and you have to get back into it again. Over the years, I've got used to it. But when I do, if I am ever working here and the shop's not open, that's what I like. I come in every Sunday afternoon and work, no interruptions. Family's very, very important. I've got a big family. I've got 11 grandchildren. It's nice when you get together with them and you know, have a laugh and a meal together like we did over Christmas and stuff. That's in my rugby team in 1961. That's my great-grandfather. He was born exactly 100 years before I was born. He was born in 1847, I was born in 1947. He was quite a well-known artist. Well, it's all memories, isn't it? It's all you know, people I've known, people I know, people that you've loved and love.